Oh, yeah.
Hey,
We are back. Fantasy news today. Fantasy Football Hustler. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook right now. Here with my man Taco from the Daily Sporting. What up, bro?
what up, bro? Chilling. Just kind of recovered from a crazy Sunday wedding with my boys. So, I didn't get to see that game versus the Chiefs and the Ravens, but I made up for it by watching the whole Peyton Manning and Eli breaking down the Packers game. That was good.
Nice. So I didn't watch it this week. I did watch their stream a little bit last week. What do you think about those guys? They're pretty good on the mic doing the watch parties, right?
I loved when they were going back and forth about the Patriots and how like he would go in the shower to give them the plays because the year before the Patriots had the Super Bowl inside the Colts Stadium. So he was like, my lockers were bugged, and like he would go with the wide receivers and talk in the showers to try to keep the Patriots from finding out. It obviously was probably a joke, but he's hilarious, and he did a couple of cool demonstrations during it. So like he was explaining how like Rodgers would be throwing off his back foot, and like how when he would try to throw, he would be and he would just actually show like the positioning of his feet and like how the pointing of his feet helped with the direction of the ball. And just the way he breaks down stuff, I think is great. I find it really entertaining. Eli sometimes looks like he's a little out of place, and then sometimes he's good. He's like 50-50, but sometimes they have some good guests on that really get it going. Gronk was hilarious. When Gronk and Brady were going at it, that was the best part. Brett Favre was a little Some of the other guys were a little this week. Pat McAfee wasn't bad.
Nice. And yeah, so like I said, I didn't see him doing it this week. I saw him doing it last week. They had Travis Kelce on there.
Yeah.
They had Ray Lewis on there
to
like start it. Like, yeah, that is pretty dope. The people that they get to show up, and who wouldn't want to talk football with Peyton?
Right. And I think it might be better than the like Monday night broadcast itself, because like those guys are okay. It's like I'm just hearing some guys announcing the game versus like Peyton freaking Manning, like breaking down the type of coverages they're in. And like they were talking about like how changing the languages are so hard. And he was breaking down like what golf was using and how they were interpreting the plays and like all these crazy things. And like when they went for it on the fourth down, they were explaining how, it was probably fourth down territory. But then when the play got called, they didn't like the play call because they were making it harder. And they were like just the way they show and analyze everything just makes you like a better football, like, I want to say just person, because like as you start noticing shit like that, then you start seeing where players okay, this guy like trades, that's good for maybe free agency. You start noticing these things as these guys notice these things, or they teach you things.
Well, and I mean, what's dope about it, I mean, at least the whole concept that they got going on. Yeah. I mean, it's like we're doing on YouTube. It's like the same shit, except it's like Peyton and Eli. And so I like the way that everything is going. At least how like now these TV stations and everything, literally ESPN, they're copying, people who, a lot of people who aren't making money just doing this on YouTube for fun. And they realize how many people actually like watching that kind of stuff versus hearing the traditional just play-by-play.
Yep. And I think you really started to see it when Snoop Dogg and them did that boxing telecast. As it was getting great reviews because people were so entertained, and it became viral on social media. Everyone was talking about it. And at the end of the day, that's what you want for your business or for your brand, especially when it comes to the football. Like, come on, let's face it. Football is king.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. He made it back. His internet was a little laggy, but he made it. Bogard scot-free.
Hey.
Like crazy. Yes, please. No pictures. No pictures. No pictures. Please. We're already filming.
Hey, so we were talking about the Eli and Peyton like watch party that they got on ESPN2. Have you checked that out at all?
Yeah, with what's his name?
He's still in the Matrix. Back in the Matrix. Well, let me shout out everyone who's up in here right now. Ryan, what up, bro? First comment in here before we even went live. What up? What up? And as far as I see you asked like a start sit question or a trade question. So we don't do that on this show. We got the start and sit questions coming Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. But if you leave it as a super chat, you already know we got you. And JC Money Design, what up, bro? Tell him, smash that like button.
Fickety facts, bro. Fickety facts.
Yeah. And Dion in the building, what up, bro? Clock Management in the building, what up, bro? Oh, dang it. And I always forget how to pronounce this name. Levictius said, damn it, you going to help a brother out? What's going on? What's going on, bro? Yeah, it's time to spark up. We're waiting for Bogart, trying to let his internet get back to normal so we can get into all this news going on. Well, why don't we start talking about the Monday night game a little bit?
Sure.
Rodgers didn't even have to spell out relax. I mean, everyone who was panicking on Rodgers and the Packers, and literally week one, you talked about it, like he got no reps with the ones, like anything. Like, what do we expect? You know, like everybody wants to beat the Packers, and look what happened last night. Lions, they came out swinging real hard, but the Packers prevail. They just they could swing a little bit harder than most teams on offense.
Yeah, and it was great to see that they really got that run game going, and Aaron Jones was a real big part of that game.
Fucking savage. 4 touchdowns. 4?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. He's making people rethink shit like, God damn, what happened to Aaron? Like, he is Bizak. But I'm really interested to see like how this works long term, because while they were able to really lean on this running game, it looks like it's kind of bare after Devontae. They really try to get Tunyon involved, and I think that was encouraging to see from a tight end perspective, as many tight ends right now are a little, I feel like, undervalued or underrated, or overrated, I should say. They're not as good as we thought they were, like the Cole Kmets and some of these other guys.
Especially because Tunyon had 0 points last week, so you know that like every Tunyon owner was like, "Fuck, I need to drop him." Like, I mean, everyone on the Packers did shitty last week.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be one of those situations where you're going to have to ride with your guy for a while. It's going to be like that some games. It's going to be maybe where every other game you're going to get, you know, a good, or what you consider a good performance, and it's going to be balancing it out, because honestly, the tight end pool, every year we say it, and every year we say, you know, go get a Kelsey, go get a Waller, because, you know, there are very few guys like it, and from now it looks like only TJ Hawkinson is really taking that step. Kyle Pitts seems a little scary to me right now. He hasn't been able to really blow up. He's getting targets, he's getting opportunity, but we got to see how that ends up playing out. But you know, we can't forget
Gronk, because he was someone who was drafted probably outside of the top 12 tight ends in most leagues. Like, he was left for dead in drafts. I mean, there's some leagues that he wasn't even drafted in. If you play in a shallow league, he's been balling out. 4 touchdowns in the first 2 games. Even if he doesn't get the yardage, which he didn't, you know, this game, I mean, it was like 39 yards or something. But if you're getting those money, you know, looks from Brady in the red zone, like, he could literally go for 1 to 2 touchdowns every single game. And if you get a touchdown, you're very close to a top 12 tight end, like with no other stats, like just the touchdown.
Yeah, I would say he's probably like a top 8, top 10 guy, because like you said, he's dependent a lot on that touchdown. And it looks like more often than not, he's going to get that touchdown. But that does cap his upside. And he does, you know, have a little bit of a floor, but he seems a lot safer than a lot of other guys, because let's just face it, him and Brady in the red zone are magical, and they know specifically that they're going after Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison's record. So Brady's going to get that man the ball. So I'm pretty sure that we could see double-digit touchdowns for Gronk easily this season.
Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Now, this isn't for rest of season. I mean, this is just for week 3. But there's been a lot of people who are asking Kittle or Gronk. Because Kittle, and, you know, I mean, he hasn't really done shit these first 2 weeks. He's finished outside the top 15 tight ends each of the first 2 weeks. And Gronk's been a stud these last 2 weeks. Like, what do you think about week 3 specifically? And we'll let Bogart chime in here after you give your answer.
Sure. I mean, honestly, what's the matchup for Kittle, and what's the matchup for Gronk?
Green Bay for Kittle and the Saints. So he's going to have Malcolm Jenkins on him, which was an awesome matchup back in what was it when Philly won the Super Bowl?
No, Bucks play the Rams.
Oh, they play the Rams. I'm sorry. New England plays. See what I did there? I still correlate Gronk with New England. New England plays the Saints. Yeah.
I think that I would actually go with Kittle this week still. I think his volume upside is still there. I'm not ready to jump ship on that. As we saw with the Packers, Hawkinson was able to do his little thing. Shanahan is a creative guy. He's going to see the way things get used, and I think this is the game that Kittle should, outscore Gronk.
I'm feeling 2019 vibes for my Niners. And back in 2019, I failed because I should have made a shirt that said winning ugly with handsome Jimmy, because that's what it is. We are winning. And you just look at look at our record and you're just okay. I'm okay with it. We're undefeated. When you watch the games,
this last week was ugly. Let me just throw that in there.
Yeah.
Your boy Debo though is really stepping up and stepping out right now.
Everybody's chains, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. So for everybody who drafted Ayuk 3 rounds earlier than Debo, how goofy do they feel right about now? I didn't do that in any leagues. I either picked Debo or nobody at all.
I have 1 share of Ayuk and I have 0 Debo because I was to me it was like the running backs or Kittle. That's all I really want to fool with.
Bro, the one league that I have Debo in, I co-manage with someone. And he was like, Debo. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, ugh. But I did it. But I did it because earlier in the draft, I took Henderson over Kupp because I was like, we need a running back. But I regret it so much because Kupp. But I mean, at the end of the day, running backs are so fucking hard that having Hendo as my number 2 running back makes a huge difference because I still have Michael Thomas on the IR and shit. So I'm like, fuck, man. You know how shit goes. These running backs this year, fuck these running backs this year. That's all I want to say.
This was definitely a 0 RB year.
Yeah.
Our man,
that's hard though, because all the 0 RB guys are shitty. Like fucking Gaskins. Everyone and their mother thought that we should get more out of Gaskins by now. Chase Edmonds is solid, but James Robinson has been poo-poo. Hunt is okay.
I mean, some of those guys aren't 0 RB guys.
Mike Davis.
You know who's the best 0 RB guy right now? James White. Oh man, that guy's dead.
I can't lie. I got him in my other league.
I know JD McKissick didn't show up week 1, but he showed up week 2. And this is going to be one of those negative game scripts, I would assume, against the Bills this week. Yeah. So I think JD's in play again. You know what I mean?
He's going to be in play all season.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Going back to the Kittle Gronk thing, right? Or I'm sorry, Red Zone Robbie G is what
that's what he calls himself.
That's what he calls himself.
That's a nickname for himself.
Yeah, he gave it to himself.
It was hilarious.
And he was talking about how I don't even watch film. I just say, hey Tom, what do you need me to do? He's like, I'm bigger. He's like, I'm bigger and faster and stronger than everyone. I just run by guys.
He's like, I don't practice on Fridays because I don't need red zone help. I was born this good. I was this good since I was a rookie. Red zone Robbie G got this on lock. I'm like, this guy is built for wrestling, and hey, him and Peyton need a show. That is one thing. Once their playing careers are done, I would, unless Brady wants to be on some shit, because I feel like Brady and Gronk.
Could you imagine Brady and Gronk doing that, having their show like that? That would be ridiculous.
Or Peyton and Brady
and Jules. Brady, Gronk, and Edelman, I feel like they would have a show when they're all in their. Well, actually, Brady legit said he wants to play until he's 50, and I think he can.
Bro, at this rate,
I mean, they have the number 1 line in every metric right now, or at least the last I checked.
He's so fucking smart, man. To imagine to make that play from New England, you go over to Tampa with all the weapons in the world, get Gronk out of retirement, they draft offensive line. They already have a ton of defensive guys. That everyone buys in a short season, that you get the Super Bowl in your house, you win it. Then after you win it, you convince everyone, hey, everyone come back for another year. And now you look like this.
That was literal fantasy football shit. That never happened.
He's like, Antonio Brown, come for dirt cheap, bro.
You know what, bro? You know what really makes me mad, bro? Really grinds my gears is that we wanted to trade for Brady, my Niners. Then they were like, nah. And Brady was like, give them Jimmy. He went over Belichick's head because Belichick's ready to ship him off. Then they go on win another Super Bowl. We get Jimmy. Go on to lose a Super Bowl. Then Brady's a free agent. He wants to come to the Niners. And we're like, Jimmy's our guy. And he's like, all right, fuck y'all. And he went to Tampa Bay only because, too, Tampa Bay was so he's close to his eldest son because his eldest son lives in the East Coast because he had a son out of wedlock. You know what I mean? That's how you know Brady is. He's the real one.
Like Giselle doesn't have access to a private plane that they can get him on any second of the day.
Well, I mean, that's not Giselle's kid then, so she don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, and you know, it's Brady's favorite team, and his folks live in Cali, outside of the Bay. So it's like,
but that's the one thing though. He wouldn't have the weapons that he has with the Bucks. They got many for dirt cheap too. Like they got so many people on there, and the defense was already built. So it was one of those teams that it had defense, and then you add like 3 new offensive players. It was literally
like the Patriots, but cool.
Yeah,
because the Patriots.
No, they were waiting. No, the Patriots have never had an offense like
no. I'm talking about how people they were a draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people would go to New England when Brady was there to go get a ring, and they'd play for cheap, etc.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. It's like New England, but cooler because you actually have guys like look at Godwin. He probably could have got a deal somewhere else. He's like, I'll sign a franchise joint here. You know what I mean?
Facts though.
Yeah.
Facts. And then think about it too. You already came in with Godwin and Evans, and then you bring out 2 guys and Brown and Gronk, and then you get Lenny to go with that. It's just like they already had the setup, and you already had the guys that you knew you'd bring over for cheap, and it was just a match made in heaven. Because the Patriots weren't going to bring Brown back in, and he really wanted Brown.
And they were so smart in the draft, drafting Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, dude, that guy has been a beast ever since he got there. And he made that defense a tick better, like a rookie that they drafted. He was an instant playmaker right off the bat.
Yeah, because I'm not mad at Jordan Whitehead, but it was like, yo, this is just now they got Winfield, bro. Like, that shit was nasty, man. And then even all the veterans up front, you know what I mean? What was it? They didn't pay. Did they pay? They paid Shaq. They paid Barrett last year, right?
I think it was like 2 years ago, and then I think he renegotiated. I think he.
It was a franchise tag first. That's right.
Okay,
they tagged him last year, and they gave him the deal this year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They tagged Godwin this year, so it'll be interesting what they do with their offensive weapons next year because Brown, I'm assuming, is going to want some more money eventually.
Oh, and Brady already restructured his contract too. Like, he'll do it again. Brady listen. Brady is about legacy at this point.
He's playing with house money, and
bro, he's like each championship gets me like $100 million on the back end because between merchandise, between film, and
Brady
Lord knows he's probably
just like
filming all this on the back end.
He went from a corporate suit and tie job to where he's like casual Friday every single day now. Like he couldn't do shit like for fun. Look at him on social media. Like, dude, I bet you. I hate him. I hate him that he has a good personality because I want to hate him.
After you watch the Michael Jordan shit, how does Brady not come into last season with his own video crew and record all that shit and literally have that whole run just chilling?
But I don't think he's ever gonna say it was his last ride, though. You know what I mean?
You're right, but it doesn't matter. I still would have recorded that whole trip, that whole journey. Like from beginning to end, and you win that Super Bowl. That in itself is a documentary that'll sell fucking out.
You know what was nuts? This was like a couple weeks before the season started. I saw a video of him throwing like 6 or like 5 consecutive balls into the jug machine.
Yeah, I seen that video.
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this
motherfucker. Like, is that Photoshop? Is that real?
Nah, it was real. Avocados are real, aren't they? I'm telling you. Listen, as long as the avocados are around, we're gonna have to deal with Brady, bro.
Yeah, like for real.
He's got it all figured out. He found the fountain of youth, and he keeps sipping from it every year.
They're paying him in avocados, bro.
He probably has trees. They're like, I could imagine that Brady has like his own Mexican compound where they grow that shit organic, and he just ships that shit to Florida via crates. Like, he's like, avocados from Mexico.
You need a big supply for their family. You know, that's all they eat.
Facts. I wonder, can you grow those in Florida?
I mean, I think you can grow them anywhere, bro. We grow them out here. We definitely can grow them out. I mean, we grow oranges out here, and they grow oranges in Florida. I'm assuming they can grow avocados there.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty lit. Imagine he has like a couple of those trees in his backyard.
He's like, he told Jeter, because he's renting Jeter's joint. Well, maybe I don't know if he still is, but he was staying at Jeter's house last year. So I bet you that was part of the prerequisites. Like, listen, I'm gonna need an avocado tree or 3. You know what I mean?
Damn, could you imagine how that worked? Like Jeter's just like fucking renting his shit out to people. Like Tom's like, no, I don't need to buy anything. I'm only here for a couple of seasons. I'll rent your house though, Jeter. Like, yeah, sure. I got another house that I live in. Like,
I doubt he even rented it. Like when you got it like that, when you're friends with like guys like that, I'm sure he just stayed there for free. He just the story about Tom Brady staying at Derek Jeter's house that just got Jeter a little bit more relevant for a little bit. His name was back out there.
Imagine Brady's like, hey man, hey Jeter, hey, what's good, man? Hey, we got a plumbing issue here. Like, he's that's his landlord, bro. Like,
bro, that shit is crazy.
Jeter seems like a kind of guy that'll handle it himself too. Yeah, I'll be right over with the plunger.
You know what I mean? He'll come over with the tool belt on and everything.
Yo, facts though.
Real talk, because imagine doing regular shit to them is they probably get a kick out of it because they're used to just snapping their fingers and everyone does everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he probably has like a property manager and shit over there. Like, I mean, you figure Derek Jeter probably has like a fucking shitload of properties.
Supposedly he has it's like a compound where like the walls are like they have like 12-foot walls and shit like that. Like around so Brady can just be in the backyard throwing the ball around and he won't have, the paparazzi just looming because they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But knowing Jeter, that's how he fucking got down because he's so private and he's from New York. Well, he played with New York and that's where he had the spring training complexes. So I can only imagine like that was probably a good place that he spent a lot of time.
Hell yeah!
How tall is those walls in baseball? They're different in each stadium, right? Because I would want to have something I could run and like practice jumping on the wall. You know what I mean?
Like Torrey Hunter or Kirby Bucket.
That motherfucker run straight up a wall, bro.
Yep.
Real talk.
Hell yeah!
Jackie Chan would probably be a phenomenal outfielder. Remember Jackie Chan? He used to do all his own stunts. That guy could run straight up a horizontal wall, bro. I've seen him.
And you know else? Probably Jet Li.
For real. Jet Li is like in tune with his chi. He can just like fly.
Bro, for real.
Oh, yeah. All right. Before we get into all this news, got to remind everybody, if you are watching on Facebook, make sure you hop over to my YouTube channel, The Fantasy Football Hustler, and you're going to get entered. Go ahead and sub up. You're going to get entered in the signed Ricky Williams jersey giveaway. Make sure you smash the like button, and then make sure you jump over to Bogard's channel. It's the GMM Network on YouTube. Go hit the sub. Go hit the thumbs up. Let's get it, guys, and let's get into this news. So the first piece of news actually came in kind of late yesterday. Daryl Henderson has a rib cartilage injury. They're pretty optimistic at the moment, but they said they're going to revisit it Friday. So as of now, I don't know what the hell that means other than he seems unlikely to play this week.
I know exactly what this means. When you say revisit it Friday, because if you're not able to get into like a semi-practice Friday, you're not in the game plan. And flak jacket's probably going to be his option. But also at the same time, you'd probably rather have him sit because he's a guy you might start. If he says a go, you're going to start him, and it's against the Bucks. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think they said that they're optimistic about him playing, but they really just want to see how – because that's the kind of injury where only time is going to help it. So it's really about how he feels closer to the game. So I think it's 50-50, but more than likely he's probably not going to play this week.
The cartilage thing that's a trip though, man, because that's like a step under like a cracked rib. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, they got through the cartilage. You know what I mean? That thing hurt. It's like a pain tolerance thing for real, and you're a running back. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna gonna take some hits. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you already know that. And so who do we think, let's say Daryl Henderson doesn't play, and let's say you're desperate AF because going up against the Bucks, I mean, that's a rough matchup. Do you think it's going to be we want the funk, or I think it's going to be Michelle?
It's going to be Michelle, I would say. And just because I think it's the experience, man. Like, this is a big game. I don't think they're going to put, the Funk Master Flex out there like that. He'll probably be in there, probably get like 20% of snaps. But if you have Sony Michel, even though the matchup's bad, this is a guy who's probably going to get 80 plus snaps, You know what I mean? 80+% of the snaps. You know, but look at Henderson. He was 90 something on average so far between 2 weeks, 90%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I really just hope that if he's out this week, he'll come back next week and he'd be fine, because like we know, Henderson is a little bit injury prone. I know that a lot of people started to drop Michelle because Henderson had such an extreme hold on that position. So he might be someone on waiver wires that some people might be able to grab, because that's one thing we did notice, that Henderson had, like you said, a huge grip on the, like Sony was not getting in the game until whatchamacallit went down.
If it's a fab league and you have Henderson, I'd probably spend a cool amount on Michelle, because a lot of times someone else would have drafted Michelle. You know what I mean? Just being like, oh, I'll take the later guy, and then they probably dropped him. Yep. You know what I mean? For some like a Eli Mitchell or something, you know, people do stuff like that week one. Yep. So if Sony's out there, I would, if I'm the Henderson guy, I am trying to secure that. Same thing with if I'm the Dalvin Cook guy, I'm trying, and Madison is out there for some reason, because at the end of the day, this is why you have these handcuffs. You know what I mean? It's
real funny in that. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, but also too, like, I'm not going to blow my fab on any of these guys if I don't have those guys, because this is like, for all we know, we go into Friday, they're full goes in practice, and it's just, you know, because it's Tuesday. This is the risk you run when majority of leagues, because waivers run tonight. You know what I mean?
Yep. So get on it. Make sure you make those smart decisions. All right, little bit of news out of Chicago, with Andy Dalton being considered week to week. I think we're a couple days away from hearing that Fields is going to be the starter. I think they just want to wait till last possible moment to make sure that there's no way that Dalton can go, but doesn't seem like.
Also, it's classic coaching shit. You know, you hold as long as you can out to put the information out, because they want to hope that the Cleveland Browns will have to double time in game 4 of Dalton and a Fields. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, it's something because of the way that Nagy has set everything up. It's more psychological as well, where it's like, hey, Andy is the guy, he's the guy, but you know, we're gonna get Fields ready. So God forbid Fields comes in and doesn't look great, you can easily be like, no, Andy was my guy, Fields still needs time there, versus like, is this the start of the Fields era? Because if he plays well, that's what it's gonna be. If he's able to play well.
I bet you Nagy tells his wife her cooking's good when it's trash.
Yeah, like
he's a liar. That guy is a liar. He's like, oh yeah, it's great, honey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Phenomenal Salisbury steak.
like, honey, yeah, the strip club actually has a great buffet, so I'm gonna go there and get dinner. Like, you know, he's that kind of guy.
And shout out to everyone who's leaving comments in here, the start and sit questions, the trade questions. So we're not answering those kind of questions right now. That's going to be tomorrow and Thursday and Saturday and Sunday. But if you do want to get something answered right now, if you throw it in as a super chat on YouTube, we'll take good care of you. So you'll see that it's right below the chat. You'll see the little $sign there. Hit the super chat, and we'll take good care of you and get those questions answered. Just drop it in there.
I love me some trade talk. I almost want to do a whole episode dedicated to shit like that. Just trade scenarios.
We totally can, and we know you got enough of them to talk about.
Yeah.
Bogard will do the voodoo and make sure that the guy that you send off gets
the Black Magic Pod.
Yeah, and I know that I am going to start doing some shows for the Hustler Leagues, and I mean, there's a bunch of trades that are going down in there, so that's always going to give us good stuff to talk about too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because you know what's dope about being in like double-digit plus leagues is that, like, you know, a lot of the things you're going to throw at us, we probably are dealing with this too. You know what I mean? Or considering these things. You know what I mean?
Jesus, I can't lie though. Sometimes these double-digit league type things, I be like, yo, bro, I am not scouring the waiver wire for all these leagues. There's like 5 leagues that I scout for. The others, it's like, all right, I'll go and make my edits.
Today was actually cool because I was doing my waivers this morning. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, majority of the leagues we're in are savvy. I'm not like in bum leagues. So like everybody is owned already. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it really is more so about trading than it is like being, I mean, Eli Mitchell, how many times did one of those guys pop up? Not a lot. And you know what I mean? Even though he got 17, he did bad, he still got 17 carries. So You know, you're not really going to pick up a guy like that. I mean, there is a lot of J.D. McKissick. J.D. McKissick actually fell under the threshold because everyone dropped him after week 1. So that is one of the.
You know who was someone interesting that I got off the waiver wire like 2 weeks ago that I really like is Cordell Patterson. I had Mike Davis because I went RB0 in the league, right? So I had Mike Davis and Rojo as my 2 guys. I ended up drafting Tyson Williams at the end. I have James White still there, and Cordell is looking like he might be better than Mike Davis, at least in PPR.
I legit might blow like $40 out of 100 or out of 95 that I have left in my fab to get me Cordell.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be the passing back guy, and he's getting good work.
And they look like they're going to be in passing situations a lot
all year long.
Yeah,
right.
I've read this book before. We could go all the way back to when he was supposed to be the guy on the Vikings, and maybe he's just a lot smarter now than he was. But
I think that putting him at running back is a lot better though than doing him at wide receiver or kick returner. So
who put him? He's phenomenal kick returner. Let's be hands down.
But you want to use him more. So how else do you bring him into the game plan?
I mean, it wasn't until New England picked him up. They were the ones who were like, we're putting him at running back.
You're right.
And then Chicago did it. Yep.
So we're already writing Mike Davis off. Is Mike Davis like dead to us in the fantasy world right now?
He's not dead to us, but
I have zero Mike Davis.
I have a lot of Mike Davis, and right now it's like lost in space. And the robot's like, danger, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson. That's how it feels right now. So I haven't ejected, but I'm already getting backups and contingency plans set up.
The finger is on the button right now, and you're just waiting to deploy.
Well, first you move him to the bench. Then we talk about that. So
it kind of needs to be how it is,
to the bench.
It needs to be how it is, though. Like between where Cordell is only getting 12, 13 touches. Because then, the moment you try to give this guy a load, it might be different. He comes in explosive. He comes in fresh. You know what I mean?
So that's why he sucked when he played with Minnesota, when they tried to put him at the wide receiver role and do that all the time. Yeah, he wasn't good. He didn't run good routes on every single play. He just needs to be like that random kind of gadget, mix it up guy. Because and who they go up against this week? They go up against the Giants this week, who are pretty decent against the run the last 2 weeks.
Yep. But with the way he plays, it's actually set up better because that means Mike Davis is going to have a tough time, which is going to give him more field opportunity to get those little dinks and dunks.
The Giants front, they give up Butte to the pass catching running back. Did it last week. Yeah. Did it the week before.
Yep.
Well, maybe not the week before, but they still did give up some yardage through the air to the running back week 1. So I'm saying this is you know what I mean? This could be a Cordell game, and maybe even Mike Davis, man. I don't understand what's going on with Mike Davis, and I just don't care because I have zero Mike Davis.
Well, it's just their running game is just not good because that offense is just not good. Matt Ryan looks like he's regressed.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't even say just the running backs. I mean, it's everything because even Ryan, he threw for 300 yards last week, but threw 3 interceptions. So I mean, that just. I love it. That 300 cut it in half, with those 3 interceptions. I
love it for my Calvin Ridleys, man. You know what I mean? Just play ugly, and all is all right, I'm just gonna throw it to my best guy, and that's really
he didn't though.
Not until the second half.
Then
he was
to an extent. Kyle Pitts, he had more yards than Ridley. Ridley did have the most. Well, actually, no. Mike Davis had 7 receptions himself. He's only had 25 yards. So crazy.
Yep. Okay.
Patterson 7 rushes, and then he had 5 receptions, 58 yards, had that touchdown. So that's kind of crazy the way that they used him.
He had a touchdown where he stepped out.
A touchdown rushing and receiving. So
that's crazy that Cordell Patterson got the rushing touchdown. You understand?
It was from afar though, wasn't it? It was outside of the red zone. I gotta rewatch that because then that would actually be eyebrow raising if he was the guy in the goal line package.
I don't think it was a goal line, but I honestly can't remember that play.
I was definitely on mushrooms watching that game.
I was drunk at a wedding, so I've been post analyzing a lot of these games, but I can't wait to have my red zone back next week.
The post analyze that's my Monday mornings right there. I go and rewatch the condensed versions of the games that I want to really dissect. Because Sunday I'm just red zoning it, on shrooms for real though. I was out there, bro, on Sunday. It's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I can't wait.
All right, let's switch it up. So going to the Texans, Tyrod is out. Davis Mills is in, at least for this week. Davis Mills, I mean, I know he didn't really practice with the ones, but I've been saying it ever since preseason.
Judge Davis Mills Lanes. There it is. That's his nickname.
No, he's not even cool enough to be. He's not even cool enough to be Mills Lanes.
Davis Mills Lanes. Come on.
No, he looked garbage in preseason. He looked garbage last week.
He'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. What's Mills Lane's? Let's get it on. Like, yeah. No, he's not cool enough for that. Not yet. Not yet. Who do they play this week, real quick? They play
the Panthers, who, spoiler alert, are my what if. They're my what if scenario. What if the Panthers are legit this year?
That's a problem.
I mean, they played two teams. Like, the Saints aren't a bum team. I mean, I get it's division, so you know this team well, but that was a shocking victory.
I mean, I don't know, because the first game the Panthers beat the Jets, so that's nothing impressive to say.
Wouldn't it be such a Sam Darnold thing though to go and lose to the Texans here?
No, he can't. You know why?
They are
because you gotta understand that he's on that rebound from the Jets. So the Jets are horrible in everything they do, meaning that Sam Darnold's gonna be good. He's gonna be fucking winning all these games, so that Jets fans are even in more misery. Like, fuck, we should have kept Sam Darnold and traded all the picks. We didn't need Zach Wilson.
You know how crazy that sounds, though.
Yeah,
like,
that was like
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
that was like
Sam Darnold looked good.
Yeah,
he's 24.
That was like what Jamal Williams was talking about. He was like, I wanted to stay. Well, I mean, Sam Darnold didn't want to stay, but he's talking about, being with the new girlfriend versus the old girlfriend, and he's like, I'm getting fed over here. I'm getting treated good, over here, just using that whole girlfriend analogy. And same thing with Darnold. Like, it's nice to be wanted, and it must be dope playing with Christian McCaffrey.
Bro, DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm. And the string bean, for what it's worth, he doesn't
done shit so far.
Well, but you know what he's doing is taking the top off. You know what I mean? Like, that matters.
And having a safety blanket like CMC that he's never had before. Like, they've never had a running back with the Jets, let alone a running back that's a great wide receiver. Like, CMC does everything.
It's got to be the best feeling in the world for a quarterback to be able to just go like this.
Yeah.
And they go like 12 inches in the air, and then CMC just run it for like 50 yards. That's gotta be.
And then it counts for him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it counts for Sammy D.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Life is good.
Hell yeah.
Donald Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So Thursday, we shall see how that game works out. But the Panthers, I mean, I figured they were going to win against the Jets, in the revenge game. Did not expect them to smack around the Saints like they did and be 2-0 here going into week 3.
And their defense is sneaky good. Like, as far as, like, I think, what's the best when people don't respect you? They sleep on you. Then you go out there and you wake their game up. I think that's what happened to Winston. And Winston and them, they're riding really high, coming through, smacking up the Packers like the way they did. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it is football. You got to love it. You never know, any given Sunday, or in this case, Thursday, right?
You know who's made a huge splash ever since he's came over? Hassan Reddick.
Oh, yeah, bruh. You know what's crazy? I thought that was nuts why the Cardinals just let him go. But then, I mean, for obvious reasons, to make room for JJ, yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't even for JJ. It was for a lot of it was for what's his name? For Simmons.
Oh, that's right.
Hassan Reddick was playing in front of him, and he was balling the fuck out. And that's why Simmons couldn't really get on the field, because why are you going to keep a guy who is just completely balling off the field to get in your rookie? There's kind of like forcing the issue. So they ship him over to the Panthers. Yeah.
I would have Hassan Reddick's so nasty.
He's a beast. And they got – I mean, really, it's crazy. So, I mean, they got Shaq Thompson, who's on the other side of Reddick, like he's a monster. And then they got Brian Burns, who's been killing it. And then
that's right.
I guess this this just little little crazy. Their middle linebacker, don't know too much about him, but they also got Dante Jackson, then Jeremy Chin, then they got the rookie JC Horn. Like, I mean, their secondary is pretty stacked right now.
They're on the way, dude. They're on the way. Like I would say they're like a year away from being, like a top 10 defense. You know what I mean?
And I think Simmons coming down from safety to linebacker really had to do a lot with, that guy going, is because you got to play Simmons. His upside is sky high. So, he has to go through his learning pains. So I think eventually that kid is going to be all pro.
Hell yeah. He's looking good out there so far.
Yep.
And I know Bogart was kind of hating on him. It's just one game.
I was hating. Of course I was hating. I get into my Niner bag really fast where I'm like, fuck him. He's on the Cardinals.
All right. Next piece of news here. Jarvis Landry, his injury, a little bit more severe than we thought. He's been placed on IR. Yeah. So I know we talked about it yesterday. How's that affect them for week 3? We know not too much, but how's it going to affect their offense now? I'm going to go try to see how many weeks. Mainly, I just saw he's moved to IR, and they didn't really give a timetable.
Initially, they gave us 4 weeks, so I'm assuming it's the 6-week pup. You know what I mean? Because the short term is what, 3 weeks. So you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming, and this probably means they're gonna rush back OBJ. You know what I mean? But I also like this kid Anthony Schwartz, and I know Donovan Peoples-Jones has a fumbling issue. But, like, those are going to be the outside guys, and they're just probably going to run, like, 70% of the time 12 personnel. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think this if you're looking at OBJ, now's your opportunity, bro. You've been out for a while. People have been slandering your name. You've talked about this comeback season. Guess what? Jarvis Landry's out. You're on a 1-1 team. You need a chance to really show up and show out. You got it right here. You're going to be that guy, make some noise, and guess what? People start talking about you completely differently.
Hey, he's hella sensitive, bruh.
He is.
Like, you remember when he
drank. He's all in his feelings.
Yeah, when he first came to the Browns, they had a press conference, and he stood there next to Landry while Landry spoke for him. That's really fucking weird, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's questionable in life to me. I'm gonna stay consistent. When you see that Q tag next to OBJ's name, to me, it's not because he's hurt. It's because he's literally questionable in life.
Yeah.
And the big reason why he's relevant on social media now is because of that meme that got posted about how the Giants have pretty much been shit ever since they got on that boat when they went out to Miami or whatever it was.
Playoff with Trey Songz.
Yeah. Damn.
And Justin Bieber. Hold on. This might have been hella hoes on that boat though, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I mean? So what? Y'all just cock blocking. Y'all know you wish you was on that boat. They were all probably getting all sorts of crazy shit.
You know what? You know who fucked that shit up too? Didn't Romo and Witten do that shit with Jessica Simpson? They went like a week
some
playoff game.
You went with Romo or
they went to Mexico, bro. They went to Mexico and they had a playoff game that week. You know what I mean? I think they were on a bye week. That was that year with Parcells.
Yo, honestly, people will get on anybody for anything. Listen, some people just need a little chance to blow the steam off before a big ass game that has them fucking nervous as hell. And sometimes some guys just got some nice pussy hair that they want to get to.
Yes. Meanwhile, Brady's just like, fuck the pussy. Give me all the avocados.
Yeah.
He's like, Brady was in Mexico. He wasn't out there doing coke or fucking these senoritas. He was out there getting avocados, blood.
And some seeds so he can plant them back in Florida.
Like, you gotta get the good pits.
Fact.
Yeah. And hey, Robert said, "What's good, Hustler? What's up with the Big Ben injury?" Oh, funny you ask. Oh, yeah, because that was the last piece of news that we were going to talk about here. We got 2 pieces from this game. So Big Ben, left pec injury. It will affect his preparation ability for the week, they said. And Tomlin said we better be ready to adjust. And that was all the quote said. So it doesn't sound too promising.
No, it doesn't. And who's the backup over there? Dwayne Haskins, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see how that ends up shaking out, because this might be Haskins' time to shine. Like, he's shown some flashes of being great, but let's see what happens. I think the last game that he played, he threw for like 300 yards, and then the coach is like, "We're fucking losing. Why are you celebrating?" And never played him again.
Yeah.
My bad. That was my pops rolled up on the Harley one time. Grab something for me real quick.
Nah, that's all good.
Nice.
I know.
So the Big Ben injury, left pec injury, and they said it's going to affect his preparation ability. And Tomlin said we better be ready to adjust. That was pretty much it.
So is this, and they're playing the
Bengals. They are
playing
at
the
home.
Bungles, and they're at home. So okay, big Najee game.
You know, we keep saying these big Najee games, but
Well, I'm saying
never blow.
Big. How about this big Najee game plan? You know what I mean?
There we go.
Yeah, because
This might be the Juju game. This might be Juju all day.
Does it say which pectoral? Right,
Left.
left.
Ooh.
Okay. No national anthem for him. You know what I mean? You know what though? Big Ben Rapistburger is what I like to call him. I feel like it's just always something with him, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like this might not even be anything. It's just he's been looking bad, so now they're saying this. You know what I mean? Oh,
he is an old man, and he is getting smacked around out there. Their line is garbage.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, They got it right. They got it right in the man boob on that one.
And for anyone who is wondering how Ben's passes got spread around, he was 27 for 40, 295 yards at a TD, had an interception. So it was Deontay getting 9 receptions, 105 yards, and looking better, but not great, according to the coach. So we shall see. That's something we got to monitor the rest of the week.
That's really terrible.
Yeah, nothing good out of Steelers camp today. Nothing nice at all. And then so Chase Claypool, 3 receptions, 70 yards. Najee had 5 receptions, 43 yards. He had that touchdown. And then Juju had 6 receptions for 41 yards. A lot of receptions, but that's just like that's that.
They're all dunking.
That's that Laviska Shenault shit that we said, like, not a lot of upside unless you're going for double-digit catches. And last one, Pat Freiermuth, 4 receptions, 36 yards. He's out snapping Ebron now. Ebron's not even getting 50% of the snaps.
Oh, you mean my man Frying Pan Hands Ebron? Yeah, stay his ass on the sideline. You know what? I'm trying to do the math. What's 27 of 40? You know what I mean? That's like what, 65%?
Hold on, let me tell you.
Completion rating.
That sounds a little too high.
It does, right?
Oh no, 67. Okay, so
I was actually a little too short. Yeah, that's still, on paper, it's not bad, but when you watch it, it looks really ugly, bro.
Very.
Yeah, the whole Steelers in general looked ugly. That game was an ugly game. Derek Carr is starting to look like a more reliable quarterback than Big Ben. Like, I don't know if I trust that situation. Deontay Johnson's eating, but there's a lot of people that have like Chase Claypool who, they're starting and they're depending on. I don't know.
I like Deadpool a lot. I think now we start to see more of him now too, because he's a guy that could really piss off Najee Harris owners, where like he's gonna start getting some end arounds and carries, or they go 21 personnel with him as a running back in the backfield with Najee. We might see shit like this.
They're gonna have to get creative, because let's face it, once you've gotten to the point where you're not able to produce, you're gonna have to go in and you're gonna have to figure shit out. Now it's figuring it out.
I want to get real ignorant one time, like I like to do. Why is the offensive coordinator named Matt Canada, and you're not game planning fully for my man Deadpool, aka Mapletron? Come on.
Yeah. Show some love already.
Right?
Fact.
Canada.
So it was I believe it was week 4 where Chase Claypool pretty much put himself on the map. It started off real slow for him last year too. Maybe he's on the way to a week 4 rise again. Who the hell knows? Big Ben, he's just looking not good out there. He's looking old. looking old, looking slow. Whenever he gets knocked down, do you see him get up? He just always looks
Yeah.
like
He's like, oh, my back. Oh, my boob. Every time, bro. I mean, you know what, man? His movies haven't been the greatest recently either. Oh, my bad. That's Will Ferrell. You know what, I mean? What if it's Will Ferrell out there for all we know?
Oh, man. Well, I think that's all we got for now. So why don't we just wrap a bow on this? I think that's a good place to stop it. And we're going to be back tomorrow. We got my man TD from Fantasy Good Sports coming back. He's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We got a bunch of people still watching on Facebook. So, Bogart, why don't you remind everybody where to find you at?
Hey, you can find me at the GMM Network. You can subscribe on YouTube, YouTube/the GMM Network. Catch us every Wednesday right here on the Hustler Channel and the GMM Network. We'll be simulcasting the Real Fantasy Playmakers, 6:30 p.m. West Coast, 9:30 p.m. East Coast. It's the Real Fantasy Playmakers, a What If series. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to pose the question, what if the Panthers are playoff bound?
Damn. Got some good ones ready for tomorrow. Let them know, Taco.
Yeah, you guys could always, as always, check me out at TDS. I'll be at TDS Taco on Twitter. I have to have a little basketball content coming out. I just recorded something with someone that's doing power forward coverage. Fantasy basketball season is actually starting up in less than a month now, so it's about to get real interesting with that. So I'm gonna have some mock drafts up for fantasy basketball as well, because I know some of our people like the double dip. You get the football with the basketball and celebrate all season long.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I'm the Fantasy Football Hustler. Make sure you go subscribe on YouTube. You're gonna get signed in for that Ricky Williams signed jersey giveaway. It's gonna be going down real soon. I think we're about 100 subscribers away, so gonna be real soon. And yeah, we got shows every single day. All my waiver wire videos just dropped for offense and for IDP. The team defensive streamers is coming in a few hours, and then I got all my start and sit videos coming tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, we got the question and answer live streams. So that's another reason why you need to be subscribed. And then don't forget about Patreon. Last thing I'm going to mention before we get out of here. One-on-one advice. We're going to have rankings coming really soon here. It's a dope community. If you guys know the fantasy footballers, just imagine everything with the Foot Clan, but like a million times edgier. I'm actually interacting with people. We have others interacting. You know, it's not just the Foot Clan just interacting with the Foot Clan. It's actually guys like us in there helping you out, putting in the time, grinding for you guys. Clock management right here at the end.
Peace what out, up, Clock? Peace.
Yeah. Let's get it.